What's up, guys? Today we're going to be hitting legs with Jose. I actually grew up with Jose. We always make the joke that when we were in high school together, he thought I was mean because I have a resting bitch face. It's fine, it's cool. Now we're doing legs together. We're going to hit stiff leg deadlifts, hip thrusts. We're going to do some hamstring curls as a giant set. We'll probably do some Bulgarians to wrap it up, and a little bit of core if we're both alive after that point. So let's get into it.
Let's do it, dude.
Is just taking Jose's weights off and then putting them the fuck back on.
Make it wild, break it wild, make it wild, 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 make it wild, make it wild, 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 make it wild, make it wild, 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 make it wild.
That's really heavy. That's really heavy. But we're good. That's really heavy, dude.
What is this? You got, what? 325? Piece of cake. The best thing about working out with guys, and like some girls, but like when you work out with guys, you know that like I can't lift half the weight that Jose does, but it's still so fun to give each other shit. Because it's lighthearted, you know? Like when you've been doing this a while and you know your weak points, like you don't get offended when someone's giving you shit for something. It's just fun. Bulgarians later on in your workout if you're trying to make them glute biased, because once you fatigue the glute a little bit more in other workouts, not fatigue, but it's kind of, what's the term? Potentation. I never get that word right. But the idea is that like you're warmed up in a way that you're not going to get warmed up through like activation. And so when you're doing Bulgarians, maybe third or fourth in your list of exercises, you're gonna be much better at firing the glute. And depending on what else you do, if you fatigue the quads beforehand as well, then like you're gonna have an even harder time recruiting your quads and a better time recruiting your glutes in a Bulgarian. And because they are such a fucking hard movement to do, like they can make your heart race. It's better to do them later on, or else you're going to be pre-fatigued for everything else that you want to be doing well in later on in your workout. So I wouldn't do Bulgarians first ever unless you truly just want to be really fucking great at Bulgarians. So if you notice, like the way that I set up is different than Jose, in part because I'm short and because in order to get my hips positioned appropriately for the movement, I like to prop myself up with my elbows a little bit. It depresses my hips into the pad a little bit more. And anytime you're doing this, you want to think about as much as you can driving your hips into the bench or padding or whatever. And if your legs end up at the top, if your thighs come up off the padding, but you can keep your hips driving into the bench, still better than your hips rising in order to get that pad up to your butt. So all about hips in the bench. Whatever adjustments you need to make, make them. You notice both of us have only done 3 movements for our leg day. Typically I do 3 or 4 main movements. Most of them are compound movements. It's a squat based movement, a deadlift or a hip hinge movement. We'll throw in a hip thrust depending. But if you're really training it to your max capacity, you do not need more than like 4 main movements on a leg day, period, the end. If you feel like you do need more, train harder. Watching us kick our own asses today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and check out Jose on Instagram. Do you have YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
All
No.
social media platforms, right?
I don't have YouTube. Not yet. I'm gonna get it going. I'm gonna get it going.
Depending on when you watch this, he may or may not. First step is Instagram. And yeah. See you next time.
Later.